Good evening and welcome to the Lower Frederick Township Board of Supervisors General Meeting for June 3rd of 2025. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. All members are in attendance for the Board of Supervisors and all our professional staff are here, including Chief of Police Brian Cass. Township meetings are recorded for the purpose of preparing the meetings, and the recording is destroyed after the minutes are approved. The meeting will be posted online on the Township YouTube channel. The link can be found on the Board of Supervisors page on the Township website. It is requested that all persons wishing to speak before the board shall state their name and address and the subject matter upon which they wish to speak for the record. In the interest of facilitating the business of the board, all persons addressing the board shall be limited to 3 minutes unless such time is extended by the chair for good cause. Individuals are requested to remain in their seats and respect when other persons are speaking. The Board of Supervisors will provide a reasonable opportunity for citizens to comment on any non-agenda items after all agenda items have been addressed, but prior to the adjournment of the public meeting. Okay. First on our agenda this evening is the Treasurer's Report.
Okay, so this is the May Treasurer's Report. Highlights from the month, the sewer fund loan payment number 1 of 2 for 2025 was made in May. The Spring Mount Sidewalk project was completed. Payment release number 1 was made in May. This was part of the 2040 Montgo grant. The 2025 oil and chip project was completed. Some of the material costs were paid in May. We had major repairs completed on HVAC unit number 1 at the Township building, and the Connex boxes were purchased for the Public Works facility. Overall for the month, general fund revenue, we ended the month at $1.616 million, which was $100,000 over budget, which is up 6.8% from last year. General fund expenses, $1.110 million, which is $77,200 over budget. It's down 9.9 from last year. The sewer fund revenue through the end of May, $523,918, which is $22,750 under budget. That is down 14.9% from last year. And sewer fund expenses, we ended the month at $516,103, which is $25,000 over budget, and that's up 2.7% from last year. General fund ended the month with a net income of $505,000, which is outperforming the budget by $93,000. Revenue, we're over budget by 6.6%. The strong performers in that category are charges for service, which is 156.2% or $70,000 over budget. Also notable, real estate tax is 3.25% or $28,000 over budget. Our weakest performer in revenue from the general fund is a real estate transfer, which were $23,000 under budget. Year to date, we've received 74.8% of our annual budgeted revenue. Expenses, we were over budget by 0.7%. Key drivers would be the planning zoning consultant, public works, roads, bridges contractor line, repair and maintenance of the township building. We've got savings in legal, engineering, police and public works wages, and police O&M. Our year-to-date progress is we've spent 40.8% of our annual budgeted expense for the general fund. General capital, net income of negative $53,806. We are $163,000 over budget due to the unbudgeted DCD grant for police vehicle and the public works donation. Expenses year to date were $70,256. There's $70,000 over budget, and that's due to the unbudgeted police vehicle acquisition. Also, the Spring Mount Sidewalk payment release was done came out of the general fund CIP. The sewer fund, net income was $7,815, which is 48,000 under budget. Revenue is 4.2% under budget. Key drivers in that is the
Sorry, could you say that again?
sewer rent charges is 3.7 or 18,000 under budget. And the sewer connection tapping fees is $8,400 under budget. Expenses were at 5.2% over budget. This is still broadly over multiple line items. Utilities and supplies, chemicals being the worst. Our year-to-date budget progress is we've received 42.2% of our budget revenue and have spent 38.4% of our expenses. Sewer fund, capital fund has a negative net income of $4,791. We've only received revenue for interest earned, and the expenses were for part of the Zieglerville Road sewer extension planning. Liquid fuels, end of the month with a net income of $107,455, which is exceeding budget by $8,615. Expenses year to date have been for road salt, the 2021 F-550 truck loan payment, and material costs for the 2025 oil and ship project. Year to date progress, we've received 98% of our revenue and spent 26.6% of our budgeted expenses. Open space, we have an income of $24,621, which is exceeding budget by $7,520. Revenue, which is $7,000 over budget, is for EIT and income. We did receive a donation from a resident this past month. Expenses were $493 under budget. That's for EIT commission, the 138 Yerger Road legal review, and the county ag contribution. $319,711 is available funds, which excludes the allocations for the Federal Highlands Grant for conservation easement and a natural lands conservation easement. Year-to-date progress, we received 48.4% of our revenue and spent 22.3% of our budgeted expenses. And then ARPA, there was no activity for the month. We've spent a total of $33,000, or very little. We've spent a total of $33,887 with $2,009 of interest earned. Any questions?
Just one quick question on the liquid fuels. We received 98% of the revenue received. Is that because we actually received our liquid fuels?
Yeah, we basically, once you get your liquid fuels, the rest of the year will only be interest.
Okay.
So.
And I don't have a question, I just wanted to make a comment that the money we expended for the sidewalk project, we will get reimbursed from the county for the grant, so that will come back into our budget.
I had one question on something you said. In the general fund, you said that our year-to-date, you have it listed as year-to-date budget progress. And the sheet I'm looking at says with 64.8% of annual revenue. I think you said something like 70-something.
He did say 74.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, so it's.
Oh, I
you've gotten
apologize. It's 64.8%.
64.8.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that the repairs that we had to make to the AC system in this room as well as in the other room, all said and done, was about $16,000. And that's because the system, we knew that broke, but then there were problems with this system not blowing air, and that had to be serviced as well. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Payment of bills. For the period between May 3rd and May 30th of 2025, the general fund, $202,754.38. From the general capital fund, $168,535.25. The sewer fund, $290,071.28. Sewer fund capital, $1,624. Liquid Fuels Fund, $23,895, and the Open Space Fund, $374. Okay. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
I will so move.
Chuck Yeiser will second.
Okay, Supervisor Hexter made the motion. Supervisor Yars made the second. All of those in favor, say aye.
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 Next up is the professional staff reports. Carol?
Thank you. Let me start with thanking you for the repaired air conditioner system. Getting warm today. The Spring Mountain Road Culvert and Sidewalk project is substantially complete. On primary election day, I walked the project with the roadmaster, and the sidewalk was already in use by township residents and getting some nice compliments. At Arcadia Station, the landscaper is planting replacement trees and shrubs throughout the development. Farmview Estates, the water lines and sewer lines are installed and tested, and new township residents moved into 3 homes this month. So the contractor expected to construct Little Road widening along the property frontage, then mill the road, repair the trenches, and pave the road. That was all planned in late May, but frequent rains have pushed that back. Little Road paving or overlay is expected at this point to be next week, weather permitting. In Melbourne Hill, interior site work continues. Installation of new roadway curbing began last week. Bruckbacher was planning to, and I believe did pave a segment of road this week. Chip seal was placed on township roads, and the streets were swept last week. And at 2 Smith Road, a sketch plan was submitted for review. That will likely be on the agenda of the upcoming Planning Commission meeting. The remaining items on my report are either no change since last report, or just about individual property grading permits. So if there's something else the board would like me to address here, I'd be happy to. Otherwise, that concludes the engineer's report.
Anyone have any questions? Any comments?
The last item on 2 Smith Road, that's the previously Frias property, right?
That is correct, yes.
And that's high-density zoning, so as you might imagine, there will be more than one house going in there.
The sketch plan shows townhomes. It's under review right now, and it will be before the Planning Commission in their July meeting.
June meeting.
Thank you, June meeting. Jumping a month.
Okay. Seeing no more questions? Oh, Bob, do you have a question?
The question is, Chuck, you mentioned there's going to be townhomes there on the Frias property.
That's right.
Is that additional to the 60 or 58 units that were supposed to be being used on the old Renninger property?
It's a standalone development, that's correct.
Oh, it is standalone? Okay. Thank you.
Lauren?
A little less than 6.
About, yeah, I was gonna say 5, 6 acres. It's not much.
Off the top of my head.
Do you recall how many townhomes?
Well, their current proposal shows 24 townhomes, but I don't think they can get that density.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we have steep slopes. They didn't do the environmental adjustment factors. I just started the review today, and it's already got a lot of
It's a
zoning
work in
issues.
progress.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Warren?
Or Jacob, Old Road is. Carol, is the plan similar to the one that the planning commission looked at a while ago?
The last time I saw any plans for this property was back when I think Chuck was on the board, and it was, somebody was proposing some townhomes right along right along Burger Lane. And this is much more intensive than that. But that was probably a decade ago now.
There was one more recently than that.
I don't recall seeing one more recently than that. We're talking about the Frias property, not the one on the other side of the hill.
Okay, next up for reports, solicitor's report.
Nothing.
Okay, township staff reports. Chief Cass?
Thank you. For the month of May, Police Department had 374 calls for service. We conducted 20 traffic details, conducted 63 traffic stops, issued 46 traffic citations. The members of the department are starting the process of their mandatory yearly updates through MOPEC, Municipal Police Officers Training and Education Commission. This is a yearly requirement for us to maintain our police officer certification in Pennsylvania. Along with that, we'll be doing our firearms and taser training. That's going to take place in the next couple of weeks once we have the dates locked down. There's a change with Officer Nark, who was originally supposed to go to the collision investigation school next week. That's been canceled because of the incident in Upper Providence with the officer. So she's going to she was enrolled in a different class towards the end of September. Last month, I reported about Officer Karminski testing for the Montgomery County SWAT team. He passed, successfully completed everything, and he'll be joining the team effective June 17th. I wanted to thank the board for the opportunity to attend the PSATS conference. There's a lot of information that was very beneficial and understanding. During the April Board of Supervisors meeting, we made you aware the police department arrested Thomas DiNardo for felony sexual assault. This past March, he pled guilty to the sexual assault charges, and myself and Corporal Milligan will be attending the sentencing hearing on June 26th down in Norristown. And just for any resident, I say this every month, if you have any concerns, please reach out to the police department. Your concerns are confidential, and it's anything, because there's a lot of things that still are floating around on social media. If you have questions or concerns, please reach out to any member of us. And that's all I have for my report. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for your loss as well. Next report is the fire company.
All right, Scott Angstead, Fire Chief. For the month of May, we had a total of 15 calls. Out of that, 4 were in Lower Frederick Township. Nothing really major going on. We've had training last few weeks. We've done rope and rescue, rigging, working with Upper Salford. We last week did a burn at Skipback's burn building. Their burn building was out of service for a while because of cracking and so forth. They actually put some money into it. They actually put metal roof like decking on the roof area, and the building is a lot hotter than it used to be. Back in the day, it would get warm, wouldn't get super hot, but it's really a good facility, and we enjoy training there. The only other thing is occasionally we get out and we'll do the water rescue training with Upper Salford and Harleysville. This past weekend, we had members that put in behind the firehouse, and they actually practiced when the water was up a little bit more than normal, up to the bridge on Spring Mount Road, up towards Clemmers Mill Road, actually. So there were 3 other neighboring companies that came and also were there. It's a good thing for us to be able to get out and practice when the water is up, because it makes it more realistic. The only thing we won't do as far as practicing is go out at nighttime on a situation like that. That's kind of reserved to only when we're actually doing a water rescue. So, and that's all I have.
Does anyone have any questions, comments?
Thank you.
Jason, if you could just read off the ambulance, public works and zoning?
Okay, I have not gotten anything yet for the ambulance, public works. Actually, let me share. They installed new benches in the trash bin at Cuddy Park, participated in MS4 training. They did mow all township locations, replaced a broken check valve at the sewer plant. I got a picture of that. Cleared and prepared the area for the shop, at the shop for shipping containers. That was the before. That's what it looks like currently before they get the connexes in. Clear roads from storms, cleaned storm inlets, performed 4 sewer inspections, assisted in sweeping of chip sealed roads, prepared road mower and started road mowing, reinstalled damaged road signage, cleaned buildings at sewer plant, and managed the mowing contractors. For the zoning report, for May, they received 12 building permits, 11 zoning permits for a total of 23. 17 building permits and 18 zoning permits were approved for a total of 35. And we've had 3 permits completed. We issued 6 resale UNOs in May, 20 burn permits, and 1 driveway permit. And we've received 30 pumping reports in May.
Okay, does anyone have any questions, any comments? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to Township Board and Commission reports, the EAC.
I can speak to this one. Gary emailed me or emailed us. He would not be able to attend the meeting. They did not have an agenda for their May meeting. They didn't get it to us in time, so they did not conduct any business, and their committees just shared information that they had gathered in the last month.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the Open Space Committee.
Good evening. The Open Space Committee met on May 14th. I don't have a ton to report here. We did a quick review of the current status of the Open Space Fund. We then had discussed some property matter questions that we elected that we wanted to pose to the solicitor. Those were to be sent to Peter, and then any response or answer that we got was going to be discussed at our June meeting, which will be next Wednesday at 7 p.m. We then had some further discussion about the volunteer project that we are looking to plan for the fall. Hopefully in conjunction with Natural Lands. We're still waiting a formal reply from them or just some formal coordination with them to get their advice, since they do a lot of these volunteer projects on their own, and we felt that it'd be helpful to get their input and insight. And lastly, we coordinated having some informational flyers about the Open Space Committee available at the Township Building for Primary Day on May 20th, which we did. And from what I understand, that was received pretty successfully, and that's something that we'd like to continue doing at different township events, provided that a member of the committee can be there to discuss matters with people further. That's all I have in my report. If there's any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions or comments? No?
Other than to say thank you for doing the outreach on the primary day. I thought it was very effective.
Okay, next up is the Planning Commission.
Ernie Schmidt, we had no meeting in April and May.
Okay, thank you, Ernie. No meeting in April or May for the Planning Commission. Park and Rec.
Okay, so June's going to be a pretty busy month for us. We met at Foy Park yesterday. We're nearly all set for the Spring Festival, which is going to be this Saturday over at Cuddy Park. It's going to be from 10 to 2. The theme is going to be in your backyard. We have 2 speakers lined up. The Ark Wildlife Rehabilitation, there will be animals there, and also gardening in small spaces, and it's a master gardener who's going to be talking about that. We're going to have some local organizations there, including the EAC, and we'll have crafts for all ages, so adults and kids. Next book club is going to be Saturday, June 14th at Cuddy Park, and the book we're going to be discussing is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. And then to round out the month, also at Cuddy Park, we'll have our first concert in the summer concert series. It's going to be the Left Edge Band, and it's going to be from 7 to 9. Perkiomen Pacers, we had the Revolutionary War Walk this past Saturday. About 14 people came, beautiful day for it. The rain stopped, which was really nice. And our next walk is going to be July 19th. This is going to be at Upper Schuylkill Valley Park, And it's going to be basically a walk around their wildlife center, and they're going to show us the different animals there. It's geared for all ages. It's not going to be super strenuous, so keep that in mind. Quick update, Coble Park survey. We're up 40 responses. We have about 119 right now, so that's a good turnout. So just please keep sharing the link if you can. And then finally, we did kick off Park Board priorities discussion at our meeting last night, and we'll be providing something to Jason for the budgeting process. Okay.
Terrific, thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our.
Sorry, I have a couple questions for Katie. Is there a rain date for Saturday? Because the weather is not looking good.
We do not have a rain date for the Spring Fest.
So what'll happen if it rains?
Well, if it's a deluge of rain, we'll probably have to cancel it. Last year, the rain, it was kind of a
rained last
crappy
year
day too. So we'll have to make a game day decision, so.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember last year was wet too. And what is the date for your first concert?
June 26th.
June 26th. Thank
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to move on to our regular business. The first item on our agenda is artisan preliminary plan. I believe, do I understand that we received an extension? Can you speak to that, Peter?
Yes, we received an extension this afternoon until Friday, July 14th or 11th? 11th. And we're trying to set up a meeting between them and our staff to move this project forward. We had not heard anything from them since the discussion and vote on the resolution regarding the boundary line change.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next item up on the agenda, which is Public Works request quotes for traffic light detection system.
Okay, as you may recall, this was discussed at the May 7th meeting and tabled to allow Public Works to obtain another quote. We did get another quote from Armour and Sons in the amount of $14,742. So you have two quotes in front of you, one for $5,098 from Signal Service and the one from Armour and Sons in the amount of $14,742.
So why is there such a wild swing in that?
I almost think they didn't want to do the work.
okay.
Generally, when you see it, to me, when you see a wild swing like that, they didn't want to not give us a quote, but it didn't.
So the Signal Service, the quote is for $5,098. They're installing it,
Yes.
and they're going to guarantee their work and all that. Okay. All right, does anyone have any questions or comments regarding this? Okay, hearing none. The motion is to accept the quote for Signal Service in the amount of $5,098 and further authorize the township manager to sign any paperwork to complete the project. Can I get a motion?
Also move?
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Supervisor Hexter, second by Supervisor Byrd. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. I did have one question. So just because both providers are co-stars, providers doesn't mean their quotes have to be anywhere near one another. I think we covered this ground once before. Just because it's co-stars doesn't mean you're getting a good deal.
Absolutely correct.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is a Public Works request quote for repair of tractor.
Okay. So this is a request by the Public Works. These are for the 2003, or they're located, the engine panels are located on the 2003 case backhoe. These have been repaired previously and are at a point they need to be replaced per Public Works. As you can see, they are rusted. I have attached pictures, which I'm showing now. We can kind of see that they're in pretty poor shape. Obviously, the case backhoe is one of our more used pieces of equipment. So since it's not necessarily like we'll just call it a functioning repair, that's why it's in front of the board as far as running, but it's not good to not have the engine panels. So the quote is from Ken Cockersperger, who is our maintenance, or Cokersperger, who does do the maintenance on the backhoe, if you're wondering where he came from. And this would be coming out of the 437.260, which is repair and maintenance machinery, if the board chooses to move forward.
Does anyone have any questions, any comments?
So this is the sheet metal that covers the engine,
Yes.
and it's rusted through in places? It can't be repaired? We're looking at a replacement, is that it?
Yeah, both panels. So what I'm understanding is they've welded it before, and it's at a point where it's not able to be welded further.
So it's like Swiss cheese. I mean, I see pictures of rusted things, but I have some experience welding and re-welding where there's not much base metal left to work with.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Terry, do you have any? Terry Sack?
That's from Salt.
Yeah.
Salt keeps these machines because it's junk steel, to be honest with you. It really eats them away, you gotta replace them every so often. Salt lays on the hood there, and it gets down on the hinge, or down there at the bottom, and it lays in that hinge, and it rusts that out right away.
Okay.
It doesn't take long.
He did try to find us used panels and wasn't.
It's hard to find used ones, there are aftermarket, but I'm just saying, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for explaining, Terry.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions, any comments? Okay. All right, so the motion is to accept the quote from Ken Cokersperger in the amount of $4,952.95 for engine panels for the 2003 case backhoe, and further authorize the township manager to sign any paperwork to complete the project. Can I get a motion? I will make that motion. Can I get a second?
I will,
Supervisor Sachs makes the second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Next on the agenda is resignation of Greg Reich from the Park and Rec Board.
So this was submitted through Katie, the Park and Rec Chair, via email on May 21st. There are two open positions on the Park and Rec Board. This was for the term ending 12/31/2028.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
no, I just think we should thank Greg for his service on the park board.
How long was he on the Park Board? 19? Okay.
Yeah, we do normally send a thank you for their service.
So you did send him out something?
We will, once you guys kind of accept this. And
Okay, so there's, basically, this is a consensus to accept the resignation of Greg Reich from the Park and Rec Board as of May 16th of 2025 for the term ending December 31st of 2028. All in consensus? Okay. And last on our agenda is the fire police request for Upper Salford Township.
We received these requests from Upper Salford on May 15th. They're for the following events: Philadelphia Folk Fest, they're requesting service, fire police service for Thursday, August 14th, Old Gosh and Hoppin' Oyster Picnic on Saturday, September 6th, and the Big Bad Bonfire at Spring Mount Ski Area on Saturday, October 11th.
Does anybody have any questions, comments? No? Okay. All righty, so the motion is to authorize the use of Lower Fredericks Fire Company, Fire Police, at the request of Upper Salford Township for the events held in the township on August 14th, pardon me, September 6th, and October 11th of 2025. Can I get a motion?
Also move.
Supervisor Hexter makes the motion. I will make the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Next is public comments. Warren?
Warren Jacobs, Fulmer Road. I saw that they milled Little Road today. And Carol, if that had anything to do with you calling PennDOT to prompt them, thank you. Did you hear anything from them about what they were going to do with Route 29? Did they respond to your query about that?
We were really focused on Little Road because that was the roughest ride right now. My inspector's been working with the contractor. Can you hear me? My inspector's been working with the contractor and tracking what they're doing and keeping me apprised. And as I said, they had hoped to have it overlaid by now, but all that rain in May slowed them down. But it looks like Little Road would be overlaid next week. I would presume they'd be dealing with gravel pike after that, but that was primarily the Water Authority, I believe. Yeah, yeah. I don't have the schedule handy on that. I can check into that.
Any other comments? Is there anyone on Zoom?
No.
Okay. Supervisor comment?
Chuck Geiser, only to thank again Greg Reich for his service on the park board. I know he's, whenever I've been at events and watching, he's always been there working. And I know he probably does a lot of work that I don't even know about. So thank you very much, Greg.
I just want to add on to what, what Chuck said is I started actually on the park board, and a lot of the people in this room have been on other committees. They've shown up to help out. Volunteers is really what makes a community special and what helps us really expand our offerings and our services. And being on a board and commission takes time, and it doesn't pay anything. So anyone who volunteers or shows up, whether they're on a board or commission or they just want to help out, it's very much appreciated. And the more people who can show up and help, the more we can provide to the community. So thank you to everybody in this room, everyone who's not in this room, people on Zoom. Thanks to all of you.
Well said. Thank you, Marla. If there's no more comments, prior to adjournment, I just want to disclose that we are headed into an executive session to discuss real estate and legal matters.